Welcome to episode 21 of Northwynd, the Druid True First Life series. In this episode, I'm going to be doing Elite Weapons Shipment. I've done a couple videos for this one before, but I chose this one because of it's important for a caster. It drops, to me, a critical piece of gear for really any caster, any blue bar, which is the Mysterious Bauble. And that is just basically a clicky. I mean, it's a trinket you could wear, but it's not very attractive as a, as a full-time item. I think it just says like Wizardry 6 on it, but it's the clicky is once per rest, equivalent to one major mana pot. So it's really huge. I'm just going to pull up the enhancements just to show you I haven't made any changes there. Here's where the numbers are. On the skill side, it's worth mentioning, I've already made a couple notes on my build post. And that's one of the things, that I was hoping to do from this series, is be able to, empathize with what a new player is going through when they're trying my build. And going through in general, but specifically to my build. And one of the notes that I made that, if you, on the skill side, that if I had to do this all over again, I probably would have maxed out UMD and skipped the heal. I think UMD would have been a little bit more valuable. I mean, I really like using teleport scrolls. I really like being able to use at least Raise Dead scrolls, if not Resurrection, Wands of Shield, 10th level, things like that. So I made a note in my build post accordingly, and also about the starting stats, I basically said, if you're really new and you don't have ship buffs and you don't have gear and you're on a first lifer, you might want to start with an 18 con instead of a 16 con, and then just start with a 16 wisdom. So it's just a preference. That's another change. If I could go back for this series, I think I would have started with an 18 con. I think an extra point, a couple points of wisdom, I don't think that would have been that big of a deal. Of course, you could say a couple points of con. In any event, with the playstyle, I think the con would have been a little bit better, but it's not that big of a deal. Let's take a look at the gear. So I will be using a hireling. I'm going to hit that now so I don't forget. A hireling is really important for the end fight, and I will explain why. But basically, if you want to use the shrine and you're soloing, you got to have another body. And since I'm not using my Panther and stuff from my freebies, I still haven't used them, I'm just showing you that, I have to have a hireling. And I'll show you how that mechanic works if you're not familiar with it. But I'm going to park the hireling here for now. Okay, so the goggles are new. I just picked these up, actually, just a few minutes ago. My old goggles had Wisdom 9, and I think Spell Pen. Spell Pen is not important to me. I've already talked about that. So I lost a point of wisdom, but this has Insightful Evocation Focus too, so it's a net gain to my DCs. Plus, I was at an odd wisdom number anyways. The Dragon Plate's the same. I've got my Braces of Wind up to the level 20 version, and they are upgraded to Tier 2. When I upgrade them to Tier 3, they'll have a green slot. And I'll probably put like False Life 30 in there, maybe Protection, we'll see. But I got this Diamond of Vitality 20, which I spent way too much on. I was like 1.5 million plat, which is way overpriced. Well, it's overpriced, but I tried to trade for one. I had some other augments. Nobody's wanted to trade. I tried for like a couple days, and so I was like, you know what? The plat that I have, it's for this toon. I'm not trying to build long-term wealth, as I've described. The plat that I'm trying to generate is to use for this toon, for this series, for now. But also to show, if you're a new player, to show you how you can generate wealth. To some people, like, 1 million plat is like a ridiculous amount of plat, and they have no idea how to get that. And I think in this series I've demonstrated how you can do that pretty easily. Even without those lucky pulls in the beginning. I mean, I was going to have a 500,000 plat on day 3 anyways, and I would have been well over 1 million in a week. And that's with buying stuff. Okay, let's keep going. Ice Lore 15. Sheltering 23 on the ring. It's been several days since I've done the last video of Mindsunder. spent a lot of time doing challenges, so I don't remember what is, I don't remember if the ring was different than the last video. I guess it had to have been because this is level 21. The boots, speed 9, parrying 4. These are the same wizardry, 154, healing at 34. What my next set of gloves is probably going to be the iron mitts. I'm going to start farming those soon out of Epic 3-Barrel Cove. It's a really, really nice set of gloves. Great for a first, great for any toon. It doesn't matter your build. It's just, I mean, they've got resistance, they got vitality 40, they got strength 8, they got a slot. There's just heal amp 60. It's everything that's just sort of generically good for any toon. Great set of level 24 gloves, and it's a pretty easy farm. It's a pretty common drop. I know some of you are going to respond to this video and go, I've farmed for hours for those and I can't get them to drop. Yeah, I feel you. I've helped guildies farm them for a while and had some bad luck streaks, but generally speaking, it's a pretty easy farm. Along with the boots out there. Same ring I've been using. Remember, I said when I got this ring, I said I could see myself using this for the rest of the heroic levels. It's a pretty good ring. It's starting to get a little dated, but it's still, protection 5, feather falling. I'm going to use it for now. The belt is the same, spell resistance 40. Of course, that doesn't stack with spell resistance 20 here. But, it's a decent belt. Spell resistance 40 for this content, I mean, that's serious. Epic Cloak of Flames, fully upgraded to Tier 3. Sapphire of Good Luck +2, which I got cheap off the shard exchange. I think I got that for 5 shards. I had the shards, so what the hell. I probably should have went out to Epic Giant Hold and farmed some of that, the relics out there, but, 5 shards, I had them. Let's just get it. I don't have anything in the colorless slot right now. I might put a diamond of, I would like to have a diamond Charisma 6 in there right now, but I just don't have the resources to get that. I haven't found one on the auction house. I have a diamond of Charisma 7 that I got really cheap early on, but that's a level 24 augment, so if nothing else at level 24, that's what I'll slide in there. The Shamanic Fetish, this will be the last level that I use this because I have a Insightful Con 3 Planar Focus. I think that's level 22 that I'll be using next level. And then Con 8 False Life 27 with Diamond of Intelligence 4. That's the same as last video, and still got the Pansophic Circlet. I did upgrade. I've got Sapphire Resistance 6 in there before I had the Resistance 5 Sapphire. So I had it. I just replaced it. One more resistance. Okay, Wall of Wood's the same, and now I got the Ice Razor. It's kind of a silly weapon. It's definitely a dated weapon, but it's not bad. It's got in the glaciation, the ice lore is redundant there, but it's got glaciation 102, and it's just a fun weapon to swing around. It's got, the freezing ice is fun. I talked before about how the weapon slot is kind of throwaway. I'm gonna get a meaningful weapon at level 24. I'll have a Thunder Forge with 150 glaciation on it, and then at 26 I'll add the +6 evocation on it. But, until I get that at 24, whatever works, whatever just has some stats, whether it's a caster stick or something fun you want to swing around just to do a little, supplemental DPS. Remember, melee DPS is not a focus of this build. It's just something to do when there's nothing else going on kind of thing. If you like the fun of just swinging a weapon around. Okay, that's all I'm going to say there. Quest progress. Normally at this level range, what I'd want to do is I'd want to do all of Amrath. I'd want to do House Caneth. I'd want to flag for Tower of Despair. I'd want to flag for the House Caneth, raids, Lord of Blades, Master Artificer. I'm not going to do those raids this life though, so I'm not, and there's no gear I want from them, so I'm probably not going to bother. I'm getting really close to level 22 anyways. I don't need them. I would recommend though, I encourage you to flag for every raid, every life, unless you're just flying through a life. But if you're going to stay that life, you never know when the opportunity to run a raid is going to come up. Even if it's not a raid you've ever run, if there's an opportunity to learn it, again, I encourage you to get raid flagged. So what have I done? I did the Dreaming Dark quest, although I didn't do the Capstone quest. That's 22 on Elite, so we'll do that Probably next level. Did the others out there on the Isle of Forgotten Dreams. I did Weapons Shipment once already. I think I talked about that in an earlier video. I'll talk about it on my way too. That's really it. I've farming challenges. Oh, I did. You know, I don't really at 21. I don't feel like I'm ready to jump in Epic Elites. So I did. Like I did some of the ones that I did on here in Heroics that can be done in Epic, like Demon Queen, like Wiz King, like Offering of Blood, like Von 3, like Lords of Dust. I did all those. I think I redid all those on Epic Normal, not breaking my streak because I already did them on Elite, so it wasn't first time I was doing it. But I do get first time bonus, just not Bravery bonus. I didn't break my streak again because I got the Bravery bonus streak when I did them Heroic Elite. So those are all great XP quests. Lords of Dust has 12 collectibles in it, and then so I did them all on normal like a couple days ago, and then yesterday I did them all on hard, which went really well. But then I got to the frickin' Wiz King on hard, and oh, I gotta buff her up. Okay, we're gonna do cold. Don't run away from me. Worse than Anna. I gotta do electric and sonic and fire. And I had like 600 mana when I got to the Wiz King fight, and I thought I'd be fine, you know. So I was like mana dumping, and then I ran out of mana when the Wiz King was at like 25%. I was like, oh shit! So I was like dancing around, waiting for like Word of Balance to come off cooldown, and I got him down to like a sliver, and then with all his frickin' the hell, heal him. What's going on here? With all his like cursing and all the spells he was casting at me, he finally got me when he's like a sliver. Said recall out and go back in, and I got some mana. I went back in, I just one-shot him with a sunbeam, you know, with some mana. So I'm gonna run real conservative here, because so here's the thing. Like I said, I ran it once before, and I think I talked about it in an earlier video. As soon as I hit 18, I ran it because I really wanted to try to get that bauble. And this is only the second time I run it. You know, I haven't run it since then. And it was tight. It was so tight. I ran out of mana with like 2 waves to go, so I was like dancing around the final 2 trash waves with just SLAs, which took forever. And this is at level 18. I mean, it's level 21 on Elite, right? So I was under level. So I'm dancing around forever. Finally got through those waves, and I'm like, okay, now I can just, you know, use SLAs on the boss, and it'll take a while, but I'll get it, you know, because he wasn't damaging me enough to be a problem. But then he started neg leveling me, and then there was nothing I could do. I would have had to drink pots, and I didn't want to drink pots. You know, pots are such a scarce resource for me right now that, you know, I'm only when I absolutely need him. So he killed me. One of my deaths this life, so I just recalled out, got some mana, went back in, and I think I mentioned, like, I learned something. I learned that you can re-enter that quest as long as you get past the trash ways mobs. Once the weapons arrive, which are the Titans, you don't have that failure mode of you know, if nobody's in the end fight anymore. So you can tim these guys to get them off Anna. I mean, Leela. It looks like Anna. Oh, I didn't talk about Epic Destinies. I gotta do that. I'll do it at the shrine before I go into the end fight. Actually, the end fight takes a minute to when they're yakking, so I'll talk about that then. But I got Cocoon. Check Leela's health. Tim the mobs off of her. Throw the free wild shot. Why didn't they not intim on me? Am I just fail? Oh, I'm failing. That's not cool. taking a beating. There we go. Got their attention now. Where was I? Australia. This is the first quest of my night. Ooh, that's a champ. Don't like that. Ooh. Painful. Like I said, I'm trying to run lean here. I'm doing that on purpose because mana is going to be real tight in here. It should be a lot better than before, but I was a little scarred by that experience last week in here at 18, so I'm really trying to take it easy. Okay, let's go. Alright, Epic Destiny. Where are we at? Here's where we are. Karate Champion. So once I got to 3, I went over to Primal Avatar and did 1 level there so I could get Rejuvenation Cocoon. Now, you don't need to get a whole level to get Rejuvenation Cocoon all the way, but I wanted to get the full level because for every combined total 3 levels you have of Epic Destinies, you get another fate point. Okay? So, like, once I get to, like, if I get Shirati 4 and then 1 in Legendary Dreadnought, it's a total of 6 levels. I'll have 2 fate points. So I wanted to get that full level to count towards that. Okay? So I twisted in Cocoon while I'm in Shirati. I got to get another level, 4 levels, so I can jump spheres to get over here. So I got my double rainbow going all the way up here. I got my Fey form all the way, so I got DR7. I got 2 points of wisdom, and I got the wild shot. Now, if you haven't run this in a long time, they changed this quest maybe about 3 years ago. This is going to be a long one, too. Because, like I said, I'm going to have to take it easy. And, you know, when it comes to these archers, too, it's going to be a lot of single targeting. Okay, so this is the part of the quest that it says a failure. At least one person must stay alive. And at least one person has to stay alive in this end part. So if I if I go into that cave and use that shrine, I instantly fail. Okay, and I could go in there with my wolf out here, and that would count. But as soon as you use a shrine, the wolf gets called to you, and then you instantly fail. So you got to have another body, and whether that's a hireling or whether that's a panther or an owlbear, you know, from like your expansion pack freebies, that will work. But you really got to be careful, and the thing is, what you want to do, what I like to do is park it up there in that cave when there's no mobs up there, and then, you know, they're usually pretty safe up there. Man, if I had a torque in here makes all the difference in the world. Because these archers just sit there and torque you up while they're hitting you. And you just get endless mana. It's totally freaking awesome. I don't have a torque. I think I'm off timer for DQ too. I need to go do that. Let's see. Quest timers, any? None. I'm doing DQ after this. So you can see they're not, you know, they're pelting me, but they're not really doing much damage at all. I'm okay. I can take it. Wild shots basically is free. Use that. Toss a heal scroll. Like I said, it's gonna be slow with these guys. Once I get into the, you know, mobs that are kiteable, you know, then I can start throwing my AoEs, but right now, can't do that. So it's just being patient with the single target SLAs. Oh, Call Lightning hit him. One-shot that guy with Word of Balance. One-shot him with Call Lightning. I guess I can use Call Lightning. I'm going to make some saves, but I might as well try it. I mean, what the hell, right? Did I lose? Oh, I lost my freaking Storm of Vengeance SLA because between the time I cast it, had him targeted, and the time it went off, he died. So it just disappeared. That's a frustrating thing about spell casting. Instead of, you know, casting it where he would have been, it just goes away because it was an invalid target. Now that's a 2-minute cooldown that's wasted. Like I said, if I had it to work, or if I was willing to drink pots, like this could go a lot quicker. You know, like if I was just hitting every one of those guys with Greater Creeping Cold, this would have been done. But this is a long fight, and mana conservation, you know, if you're soloing it, is a serious thing. Lot of waves here. Can't have this champion. Remnant. Another champion. So don't, you know, like I said, I don't really feel like I'm ready to start doing Epic Elite, so I'm trying to just, you know, clean up some of that first time bonus, doing those quests on Epic Normal and Epic Hard that I did on Heroic, so I'm not breaking my streak. But, you know, maybe once I get to like 22, 23, I can start trying some of the sort of lower end. I think my 22 video will be Epic Elite Lords of Dust, maybe. Because, you know, Karis, the boss, he's really hard hitting. And so that's why I want to do it. He's probably the hardest hitting boss at that level range. Back in the day, when he first came out, he's crazy. In fact, that was a pivotal quest for me. You know, when that quest came out, Ginger was still wearing robes. You know, she was still wearing the frozen tunic from the House C challenges, even at 20. You know, and it wasn't until I think, what, 22 or 23 that she was wearing like light green dragon scale armor. So, but then, you know, Karis was, I remember going in there with, you know, with my guildies and friends and stuff into Epic Elite Lords of Dust, and, you know, he's just tearing people up, like one-shotting people like crazy. Like, but I was already working on my defensiveness a little bit, and I was able to, like, work it, like, I was like, I want to be able to stand up to him, and I, you know, when I realized I could do it, I was like, wow, you know, there's some potential here. Don't want to get too crazy with the AoEs. You know, just gotta use like one. Drink a pot. Plus 20 pot, the greater freeze. Gotta get that going. You know, and the cocoon is nice low cost healing. I mean, that's one of the best twists. One of the perhaps the single best tier 1 twist. In any event, even if it's not the very best, it is definitely one of the best twists, period. Especially for like a class that's not a native self-healer, Cocoon is giant. Even for classes that are self-healing, that can provide some really nice low-cost healing. Like this class, this is a self-healing class, but you know, in its true first lifer, you know, I really appreciate that low-cost healing. And another nice twist for the first lifer, you know, if ever I'm at an odd con number or an odd wisdom number, I can just twist in a point of wisdom or con. Here, Sleet Storm is nice because it lasts a really long time. I think it's a minute and a half. Minute 36 seconds. Got the metas off for Earthquake, except got Heighten on there and Quicken. So Wild Shot is something I'm a little bit new to. I mentioned, I think, last video. So it appears if you have something hard targeted, it just hits the one target. But if you have nothing targeted, it just sort of shoots in a spray and can hit multiple targets. Use my clickies. My mana clickies. My beloved Archivist necklace. Ooh, these casters are gonna be painful. Ooh, I gotta see if I can get a shield scroll off. Hell yeah, that'll be huge. I don't have a very good percent chance, but you know, it's definitely, if I can get one off, it's worth trying multiple times. When I walked in with some buffs. It looks like they wore off, so I gotta redo that. Cold, they're doing cold. Let's do Sonic. Let's do Fire. Okay, I walked in with some buffs because I got them from House J and House P. Re-rolling this chest. I got 80 shards. Hell yeah. I got up to like 150 shards, but you know, I've been buying stuff with them. Got some really nice things set aside for later. I'm really happy with. There's some augments. Globe of True Imperial Blood, Draconic Vitality, or Draconic Soul Gem, and a Meridian Fragment. Woot! There's the freezing ice right there going off. Okay, time to use the pendant. The Twisted Talisman. Okay, here's what we gotta do. Now we gotta be smart. We're gonna have to start strategizing here. So I gotta clear that up there. And I gotta get my... I don't like that caster up there. I gotta clear that up there so that my hireling can go up there. And then I'm gonna see how much Divine Vitality I can get off my hire. If I leave a couple archers down here, then I'm gonna be good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and jump up there, a little tricky jump. Okay. I'm gonna clear this out. Now I'm gonna call the hire to me. Make sure he's on passive, park him. Now I'm gonna use this Divine Vitality. I don't normally use a hireling. Where the hell is it? This? Hell yeah, give me some mana. I do insist. Me love you long time. I don't know how many he's got, but I'll take them all. Woot! I know that some casters like to just keep these Divine Vitality hirelings around all the time for this reason. And, you know, that's not a bad idea. Like I said early on, you know, I just really basically never use hirelings except for very specialized situations like this and the challenges, Keeneth Crystal. There's very specific reasons. I don't generally quest with them. It's very rare that I use them. And like I said, I really feel like you're going to be a better player if you learn to play without a hireling. He says as he's using a hireling. But you know what? When I was a noob, I didn't know there were these things called hirelings. You know, I would have been much better off if I had them. I died a shit ton as a noob. Oh man, did I die a lot. About to die right here if I'm not careful. Stupid caster. I gotta make sure I do is not take it too far though. Like I don't wanna get so far in here and have like these massive waves of mobs come out and then jack my hireling. I gotta make sure I'm strategic about when I go and use the shrine. Probably after this wave. Uh-oh. Getting me with the magic missiles again. Ooh, I got the shield scroll off first try. Loading remnant, thank you. Okay, let's get rid of this champion there. Ooh, damn it! I did not want to deal with these guys now. Okay, what are we gonna do? One of the things you want to do. Okay, the hirelings parked up there, passive. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to sneak in here now. Keep an eye on the hireling's health. Here's what you do. Okay, you're gonna shrine so that you're right here. You can click on the cave. If you see the hireling starting to die, you want to get back there as fast as possible. So even in this resting position, like I can jump back out there just by clicking the cave real quick. Don't rest way over here. Okay, I got the rest. I'm jumping right back. I'm gonna buff out there just to be on the safe side. See, everybody was blinded. They weren't going to find the hireling. They don't know what time it is. I do, though. It's 1:08 Eastern Time. AM. That's what time it is. So, I think I started to say earlier in the end fight that, you know, if you haven't done this quest in a long time, you know, about 3 years ago they changed how it works. You don't have to defend Leela anymore. Once you get past the first fight here with the succubus, she's starting to do her own thing and she can't be hurt. Oh, and I just got charmed. That's so not cool. I need to throw another shield scroll. So you don't have to worry about her anymore. And now it's just wave after wave after wave after wave. But before it was like this timed thing where you just seemed like you waited forever. But now it's like these huge mobs. Huge groups of mobs. which is kind of fun. One good strategy if you're on like an arcane mass, I love to use Master Charm Monster in here if mana's tight, because you could just make them fight each other, and then once they whittle each other down pretty low, you can just start picking them off. I gotta use some resist here. Sonic, because the repeaters that the Orthons use do sonic damage. Could do fire. Got electric on the armor already. Don't need that. I don't think they're doing acid, but what the hell? The wand is free. I got plenty of wands. Found some in the auction house. We're getting pretty close to the end. Probably only like 2 more waves. So I'm feeling pretty good. Ice on the succubus. Just let the AoEs do their thing, you know. Just one AoE is fine. Earthquake, one ice storm, one storm of vengeance. It's gonna be enough, you know. Like, it'd be faster if I use multiple, but like I said, mana conservation in here when you're soloing is really serious if you don't want to consume resources. You know, you throw your sunburst and you're blinding them. Like I said, they have no idea what time it is right now. They don't know that it's past their bedtime. This shit didn't even make sense, does it? Oh my god. It makes me laugh. So this is, I mean, going way, way better. Just no comparison compared to when I was level 18. You know, at this point, I was just dancing around, like I said, waiting for the SLAs to come off timer. And it was pretty ridiculous. But now I'm going to have, AoEs carry me right through to the end fight. I might get to the boss with 500 mana. I'll smoke them. Like a cheap cigar. That's what they used to say in basic training. The drill sergeants used to say they'd smoke us like a cheap cigar. Probably didn't know I was in the army. I don't think I've ever revealed that before. Yep. Long ago in a galaxy far away. I'm old. There it is. Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the hire.
Hopefully the
You have served your purpose. What in the plains is that thing? Look what he says. Oh no, he's got some funny dialogue. Why didn't anyone tell me Portals had something like this? Okay, well we'll take out the Barbazoos first. Ooh, that guy's a champ. Oh, you could just let... It's what I should have done, I should have let the Titan just beat him up. Could have just completed by staying in here dead, but then again, I wouldn't have had a way to raise myself at level 18. Okay, action power boost. Gonna drink a little pot. Hit him with freezing spray. Hit him with creep cold, greater creep cold. Little ice storm. Little storm of vengeance. The whole kit and caboodle. This guy isn't gonna have a chance. Gorgith Tor. Keep the examination window open because you don't want to overwrite your own dots. It will erase them, and in doing so you will lose out on the biggest damage. More Ice Storm, more Storm of Vengeance. It works better if you don't swing a scroll at him. Ooh, he's taking me down all the way. Can use up all the mana. This final round of Creeping Cold should get him though. Oh, hell yeah. I think it's just the center chest that can drop the Mysterious Bauble, but I am not 100% sure. Three chests on Elite, 2 on Hard, 1 on Normal. Reroll. What else are these shards for? Balls. No Mysterious Bauble for me. Well, thanks for watching. This is probably going to be my last heroic quest. I gotta start doing epic quests, you know? Gotta start diving into the big boy stuff. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have questions about my build, respond in the Druid forum and my build post. And if you're on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell.